Welcome. We are now finishing up the proportional relationships unit. And so we're going to start with solving proportions. In order to do these, you have to know how to do one-step equations, sixth grade math, mentioned that before in previous videos. Okay, so here you need to cross multiply 12 times 8. Sometimes they'll call it the butterfly method where you cross multiply. So we're going to do 12 times 8 and 5 times n. 5 times n would be 5n. And 12 times 8 is 96. And so we would then divide by 5. Feel free to use a calculator. 12 times 8 is 96. Divide both sides by 5 because we're solving for n. And we get n is 19.2. So yes, when solving proportions, these are equivalent. You can plug in to check. You can get decimals and fractions and whole numbers. Here we do 10q. So 10q is equal to 9 times 3, which is 27. We divide both sides by 10, and we get 27 tenths. That cannot be simplified. You can put it as a decimal, which would be 2.7, but you don't have to. Okay, so here we have 5 times 4, which is 20, 7 times r, which is 7r. This gets us 27ths, which also cannot be simplified. And this is pretty repetitive at this point. You're just cross multiplying and solving. If you get it wrong, they'll show you how to do it. Or you could do it this way, actually. They multiply both sides by k to get k to the other side. So 3 over k equals 4/5. So you can multiply k to the other side. And then divide both sides by 4/5. So you have 3 divided by 4/5. So that's 3 times 5 over 4, which is 15 over 4. Which cannot be simplified. So you can do it that way too if you don't want to cross multiply. So they will show you how to do it if you need help. All right, writing proportions. So when writing proportions, there's different ways you could write these. 7 watermelons is equal to 896. So when you're writing this, they need to be in one fraction together. And so if you're doing cost on top, you have to do it for both. You can't say, oh, this is cost over here, and this is for watermelons. So here, 896 goes with the 7, and whatever the cost is for 5 watermelons will go with the 5. Let me tell you why these other ones are incorrect. 5 does not go with 896. 5 is not equal to 896. Once again, 5 is not equal to 896. 5 is not equal to 896. That's why the other ones are not correct. 4 sticks cost 776. How many are 13? That's not set up correctly. It should be the glue sticks on top and cost on bottom. It has to be the same. So this is not cost both on top. Okay, so 4 is 776. 13 is how many? This one works. They did glue sticks on top, cost on bottom. 5 markers needs to go with the 655. And none of these look correct. None of these are correct. And so this is just helping how to set up proportions, because when you get proportion word problems, you're going to be setting them up. Wait, let me take a look at, I think this is almost the last part of the unit. All right, so proportion word problems. Scotty likes to run long distances. He can run 20 kilometers in 85 minutes. So 20 kilometers, 85 minutes. He wants to know how many minutes can he run in 52 kilometers. Set these up as proportions. You can set them up, the way that you want, as long as you set them up correctly. And then you're going to cross multiply and solve. 85 times 52 is 4,420. And that is equal to 20 kilometers. And we're going to divide both sides by 20. 4420 divided by 20 gets us 221. 221 minutes. So for these, you're just setting up proportions, you're cross multiplying and solving. Only way you're going to get good with word problems is by practicing them. So make sure you work on your reading comprehension for those. All right, so now we're writing an equation to describe the relationship between F and E. So F is the cups of flour and E is the number of eggs. Okay, so E, the number of eggs is equal to how many cups of flour times F. So here, if this is 3, 3 times what equals 2? Divide both sides by 3, 2/3. So E is equal to 2/3 times F for this. You're pretty much finding the constant of proportionality, which we were doing earlier. Okay, so the height is, so height here is equal to 1/5 times n, because 1/5 times 50 is 10. So we're just setting it up. Making sure I don't skip anything. Writing proportional equations. Write an equation that shows the relationship between P, the number of pages she reads, and M, the number of minutes she spends reading. Okay, so every 8 minutes, 3 pages. So let's see, how many pages does she read per minute? So if I did minutes divided by pages, that would get me 8/3. So she reads 8/3 of a page. Wait, I think I did that backwards. Sorry, she reads 3/8 of a page every so minutes. So once again, we're just setting these up. So once you know how to do quizzes 1 and 2 and find your K, you're just reading these word problems and setting them up, and that's pretty much the rest of this unit. It's a pretty easy unit once you get quiz 1. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.